All right, you guys. So I think I've made my decision about whether or not I'm going to get the PlayStation or the Xbox. First, I'm going to start by saying this. Coming into it, I was very concerned with exclusives because I have an Xbox One and I have a PlayStation 4. And for some reason, there just wasn't enough exclusives coming out for the Xbox One. And actually, the ones that eventually did come out just weren't that great. I mean, they ruined some of the series that I grew up loving, like Crackdown and Gears of War. I played all the Gears of Wars, but the latest one that came out was the worst one, and it made me possibly not want to play any future ones that come out. Same thing for Crackdown. I loved Crackdown 2. I enjoyed Crackdown 1. Crackdown 3 was terrible. I couldn't imagine how they got to that point. And that's just what I kept seeing from some of the series. You know what I mean? And even the new stuff that they were creating, some of which just ended up getting canceled. Like Scalebound. Everybody was excited for Scalebound. Then out of nowhere, it just gets canceled. So what is there to be excited about? Like, what game? Is it going to be Halo? Is that it? Am I supposed to buy a new console for Halo? Or are we supposed to be excited for Fable when a whole new team is taking over? And anytime a new team takes over a game, they end up messing it up. That's the history of what's been going on Xbox exclusives from an Xbox perspective. I loved Fable as well. Played Fable 1, played Fable 2, played Fable 3. But I'm not excited for Fable 4 because of the same thing that has happened to series that I loved on the Xbox. Okay? So hopefully it does end up being great. And that's not to say I'm not going to eventually get an Xbox. That's just the cons on the Xbox side of things for me. Now, on the PlayStation side, I don't really like the navigation compared to the Xbox. And the console itself, to me, is hideous. I think it's hideous. Some people say, oh, I love the whole sci-fi futuristic look. To be honest, I think they're just saying that because they're Sony fanboys, or they probably really do like it. But overall, I'm all about exclusives. I don't really care what the console looks like all that much. I care about how it plays and do I enjoy my time on it. And the reality is, whatever console has the games is the ones that I'm going to be on. And whenever you look on the PlayStation side, they just end up having the games that everyone loves. I mean, think about it. Fall Guys. Fall Guys is on the PlayStation. By the time the Xbox gets it, it's probably going to be over and done with, right? They're talking about the Xbox getting it 6 months to a year from now. Who's going to still want to play that 6 months? Genshin Impact's going to be out. And guess what? Genshin Impact on the PlayStation. But you know where it's not on? The Xbox. Xbox is not only not coming out with exclusives, they're also just missing out on games that come out on all platforms. Like, there will be amazing games that literally come out on every platform, has plans to come out on every platform, just not Xbox. Xbox is losing this fight in regards to exclusives across the board. And these are fun, enjoyable games that I'm excited about. Now, that's not to say that the Xbox doesn't have anything for gamers, because they got the Game Pass system, which I thought they did really well on. But in regards to overall just exclusive titles, they're lacking. You know, Xbox is great if you're only playing multi-platform games. If you're only going to play the multi-platform games that are coming out, like Call of Duty and sports games, those are the only things that you play, Xbox is definitely the way to go. But if you're someone that actually wants some options and different choices, then I have to align with the PlayStation on this one. You know, but like I said, the Xbox does have an edge on certain things. For an example, the navigation to me feels better. The controller feels better. I think Xbox support is a lot better than PlayStation support. Streaming certain services work a lot better on the Xbox than it does on the PlayStation. And that's just from my experience, okay? But all of that stuff is minor annoyances, in my opinion, compared to the actual games. I cannot tell you the countless amount of times I was on my Xbox just thinking, wow, this is just a media device. Whereas on the PlayStation, I'm never bored. I always have something to play, okay? And as for pricing, I mean, they went a different route. Of course, their overall top-end model is the same price at $500 each, but one side went with a digital version that is really a lesser next-gen console at $300. That's the Xbox Series S. And the PlayStation 5 came out with a true next-gen console that is digital at $400. That's basically what I'm looking for personally, because I buy a large majority of my games digitally. I'm fine with just going all digital at this point, okay? And I mean, just look at it from this perspective. Is there really a reason to buy an Xbox right now? If you buy one right now, you're not going to have some amazing exclusive title to play for probably another year. Whereas on the PlayStation side, they're planning to immediately drop some really good exclusives that are going to be fun to play on the PlayStation 5. And that's why it's just a bit more exciting to hurry up and get a PlayStation 5 than it is an Xbox. I'll eventually get both, but I'm definitely going to get the PlayStation 5 first. That's for sure. That's the decision that I've made.